Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. I pay my homage to Bhadya Bhantiji. I pay my homage here Buddhapala Bhantiji, and greetings and metta to all the novices and upasakas and upasikas. Today I have selected a very small sutta, sutta which means the discourse of the Buddha. The name of the sutta is Anuggahita Sutta. Which means the 5 supportive factors for enlightenment. The sutta is like this: monks, when right view is supported by 5 factors, it has freedom of heart and freedom by wisdom as its fruit and benefit. What 5 factors? It's when right view is supported by ethics, learning, discussion, calmness, and insight. When right view is supported by these 5 factors, it has freedom of heart and freedom by wisdom as its fruit and benefit. So these are the 5 factors which release our mind from craving and leads towards Nibbana. So let me explain what is right view. The right view, Lord Buddha taught in many ways. Right view of Four Noble Truth, right view of Kamma and Kamma Vipaka, which means understanding about wholesome action, unwholesome action, and its result. And also right view about how mind and matter arises and passes away. So these are what called right view. And there are much more explanation about right view. So here we can take any of these, and especially right view about Four Noble Truths. So when the right view is supported by moral, ethics, as Lord Buddha given and suggested to the people to practice 5 precepts, that is restraining from killing, restraining from taking what is not given, and restraining from sexual misconduct, restraining from telling lie, and restraining from taking alcohol or whichever makes our mind confused and weak. This should be restrained. This should be practiced. Practice of restraint from these five things. So when right view is supported by this ethics, and which is called sila in Pali, and then learning. Learning means here the Buddha's teaching, because when you are willing for freedom of heart, then you should have learned the particular method, how you proceed on that path, how you can progress on that path. So you must know the method, you must know the teaching, you must know the instructions which is given by the Buddha. So this is the second factor, learning. In Pali we call it sutta. Then the third factor is discussion. Here discussion means Dhamma discussion, discussing about your experiences and discussing about anything that you want to know about related to your practice. So you can come here, you can discuss with the monks, and you can also discuss among yourself, like the people who practice meditation, some people who are newcomers in meditation, so they can discuss about meditation with the senior people who are engaged in meditation since long time. They can have some Dhamma discussion among them. This is how one can be benefited and one can overcome the doubts and one can gain clarity when you discuss about the Dhamma, discuss about the practice. So this is the third point. Now the fourth point is calmness, meditation on calmness, samatha. So as Lord Buddha said about this samatha, which is about calming down the mind, and there are several methods about calming down the mind. So the samatha tells about to have samadhi, which is one-pointedness of the mind, or in other word we can say undistractedness of the mind. So when you have this samadhi, then mind will not roam here and there. It will be focused on one point. And there are many ways to attain this samadhi, the calmness of the mind. As Lord Buddha highly emphasized on jhanas, higher samadhis, but also Lord Buddha also emphasized on samadhi. Apart from higher jhanas, Lord Buddha also emphasized on samadhi. So in these two meditation, like they have like jhana, when we say jhana samadhis, those are higher samadhis. And when we say samadhi, which is quite below to that higher samadhi. But both of them are very good in the practice of Dhamma. So here Lord Buddha says that one should have samadhi. One should have samadhi in order to achieve the freedom of heart and in order to experience the fruit and benefit of freedom by wisdom. So Lord Buddha said that to develop samadhi. So there are many discussion about samadhi, and sometimes you can be confused sometime regarding the meditation, because one tradition suggests this samadhi is okay, another tradition will suggest this samadhi is okay. So as our teacher taught us, he given me a advice when he was alive. My teacher's name is Venerable Acharya Buddha Rakhita Bhadavanti ji. So he told me that, son, you learn Pali, and whatever Dhamma you learn, you must learn from the Pali. So it makes you very clear. So since that day, I was very much focused on the Pali, and we used to research on these topics. So this is how um, I come to know about these two types of samadhi, which is suggested by the Buddha himself. You can have any of them. If you have normal samadhi, which is indeed itself a very powerful samadhi, or you can have the higher samadhi, the jhana samadhis, which is highly emphasized by the Buddha himself. So they have both great benefits in the progress of on the process of practicing Dhamma. They have great power and they produce profound Dhamma. So our teacher's teacher, Most Venerable Ridukani Chandamimala Bhante, once he said that you can have both. You can try to achieve jhanas. If you are not able to achieve jhanas, then you can practice a normal samadhi or vipassana samadhi. You can do that. So he was also one of the great masters in those days. He said like this. So what Lord Buddha have said about this samatha in his own words, he said, when a bhikkhu, when a monk has well established in the morality, then he should develop the higher things. What are those higher things? He said, when a monk, when you walk, then you should see that your mind is freed from covetousness, your mind is freed from aversion or ill will, your mind is freed from sloth and torpor, your mind is freed from doubt, your mind is freed from restlessness and worry. When your mind is freed from when you are walking, when your mind is freed from these five, then it is called samadhi. Then mind become very calm, still. Similarly, in all other three positions like sitting, walking, or lying, in all three positions, when you are freed from these five, then you have this calmness of the mind. Then your mind become concentrated, still, one-pointed. Then your mind become unrestrictedness. Here, when it becomes like this, unrestrictedness, then one can see things very clearly. One can see the arising and passing away of Dhamma. So Lord Buddha said here this about the samadhi, about samatha in his own words. So this is one type of samadhi here, and you can take that that overcoming five hindrances is considered a samadhi, which is similar with these five factors, with these 5 points: overcoming passion, overcoming ill will, overcoming sloth and torpor, overcoming restlessness and worry, overcoming doubt. So when you overcome these 5 factors, then overcoming these 5 defilements, 5 hindrances, then it should be considered as a samadhi. So in this case also, when you do like this, then the samadhi can be achieved. Then you can develop the samadhi. So covetousness is also very similar to this passion. It is comes under very strong craving, very strong greed. So this is considered as samadhi, or you can say it samatha. Next, the last one Lord Buddha said about vipassana, which is as Lord Buddha said in many other sutta that there is one of the sutta called King's Upama Sutta, where Lord Buddha explained various ways to develop vision, to develop dasana, to develop, in other words, we can say vipassana, like to see the five great element, their arising and passing away, to see the six sense bases and their arising and passing away, to see the contact of, to see the contact and its arising and passing away, to see he taught some other method also. So this can be taken as vipassana meditation. So these are the five factors which lead towards the freedom of heart by wisdom, and the freedom is its food and its benefit. So this topic, this sutta, is very much important these days for the listeners, for the practitioners who practice meditation, Dhamma, because we hear sometimes people come with their doubts, and sometimes they become worried about the practice, and sometimes they become attached to that practice as well. And sometimes like they come with a very doubtful thoughts regarding the meditation. So as there are many traditions in this practice of meditation, so people used to attach to particular tradition, and they try to describe that they are the right and others are wrong. To understand this, one should have good understanding about Buddha Dhamma, about Buddha's teaching. Then one can take from any tradition. If he like this tradition, he can take the good thing, the technique from this tradition, and when he visits somewhere, then he can take from that tradition, and he can be benefited from all other traditions. So, not to have any doubt about the meditation, one should have good knowledge about Buddha's teaching, and especially this meditation. Sometimes there can be an argument about how should I do meditation. Should I do meditation without attaining jhanas, or should I develop concentration first, samadhi, normal samadhi or higher samadhi? So as one of the sutta which is very supportive for this answer, in Susima Sutta, Lord Buddha given a wonderful example there. He said that that sutta signifies that without attaining any higher attainments, one can attain Nibbana. So this is something very clear statement by the Lord Buddha, which clears the doubt around this practice of Suddha Vipassana or Samatha Yanika or Vipassana Yanika. So here when you, according to the sutta or according to the sutta called Samatha Sutta and some other sutta, one can understand that both are required. Without calming down the mind, one cannot understand things very clearly. So that is why the Lord Buddha given this Satipatthana. When you practice Satipatthana, then you can achieve some higher level of samadhi, that is jhana. If you are not able to attain such levels of samadhi, such higher level of samadhi, then you can have enough samadhi to see things as they are clearly. So this is all about these 5 factors. So once again, I just repeat them for your memory. So let me read one more time. These 5 factors are moral or ethics, learning, which is sutta, discussion, which is dhammasakaccha, calmness, which is samatha, and insight, which is vipassana. When right view is supported by these 5 factors, it has freedom of heart and freedom by wisdom as its fruit and benefit. So freedom by wisdom, which means when you do this thing, when you have right understanding and the right understanding is supported by these 5 factors, then one can see anicca, impermanent, and non-self, and dukkha. Then further, as Lord Buddha said, one can penetrate into the paticca samuppada, and this is how it leads to the nibbana. And vimutti is its fruit, panya vimutti, which means freedom by wisdom, and its fruit and benefit. So this is how the freedom is the fruit and benefit through wisdom. So this is the discussion. This is the discourse on these 5 supportive factors for the enlightenment. And I conclude here saying this. I wish that by the power of this punya, may all of us be happy, be peaceful. And I share this merit with our beloved teacher, Most Venerable Acharya Buddharakkhita Bhadabhante Ji, and I share this merit with all of us. With this, I conclude here. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, for the Dhamma. So Bhante spoke about the view, the right view. We talk about religion, right? Some people talk about this religion, some people follow this religion or that religion, or no religion, people who are, we say, theistic, non-theistic, monotheistic, so many different types, we have. And this is also mentioned in the Brahmajala Sutta, in the Digha Nikaya. There is a sutta called Brahmajala. It's a very long sutta describing different views that people held in the Indian civilization in 6th century BC. So a lot of views are held by people. We think some of these views are modern. When we think about atheism, all those things, we think it's a modern thing, but no, it was very much prevalent in the time of Buddha also. The Brahmajala Sutta you can check out. So it gives a list of all different kinds of view. So in Indian culture, we didn't have one view, so many views. There are some 64 views mentioned in Brahmajala. Yes, around 64 different views that was held by Indians, at that time. So it is explained in that sutta. So it's a very different kind of views. So when we say religion, it is nothing but our views. We hold some views. Even some people say, I don't believe in any religion, but that is also a view. That is also a religion. No religion is also a religion. Which means, what is religion after all? It's a view, right? You think in a certain way. I think like this. That's what you say, right? I think this is right. I think that is right. You know, I have this kind of thinking. You know, that's what you say. And what is that? That is view. You know, drishti, what we call drishti in Sanskrit. Pali we say ditti. And that view is the ground for the religion. You see, whether it is Hinduism, Buddhism, or whatever religion it is, God, no God, karma, no karma, next life, no next life, all these things are view. So you have to have a view, right? And you will have a view. No? Some people say, oh, I just believe in humanism. You know, I don't believe in any God or next life. But that is also a religion. That is also a view. You see. So somehow what I'm trying to say is that we are, you know, we are in this net, Brahma Jala. Jala means net actually, Jal, no? So we are in this net of view, whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not. We are in this view. Whether you're a Democrat or you are a Republican, you are a communist or whatever it is, you know, monarchy, any kinds of view, politically I'm speaking. Health-wise also, you see, allopathic, Ayurveda, you know, all kinds of view, right, within the health. In financial system also, different kinds of views we have, religious-wise. So there is always some or other view, you know, in our life. So what Bhante said is, having a view supported by different element, like he mentioned ethics, which is your behavior, your action, you see. You may have a very beautiful view, but if your character is not good, if your action, behavior is not good, then it's not going to take you very far. So also Bhante mentioned learning, constant learning, you know. And learning is a constant thing, you know. It's not a one-day thing, you know. Because as we keep learning, we keep progressing. And that view which we hold keeps changing, right? So that is also Ditti Vishuddhi. So you are kind of refining your own perspective, your own vision, your own view, your own thinking, your own mindset, your own attitude, you know, whatever you call it. So you are in a constant change, you see. So today you hear from Bandit, you hear from me, or you hear from somebody. So keep changing, and it's okay, right? It's as long as we know that certain learning makes sense, that's fine. You know, we have to open to learning. And mention discussion. Discussion is also quite good because in discussion, two persons are expressing their views. Again, it comes to the view, right? Even if you look at the character, you know, that is also connected to view, because when your character goes in a certain direction, then you end up in some situation, isn't it? Let's say if you are, say, harming people, or, you know, troubling people, harming, then you know the consequence, you know, what kind of consequence it will come. So that is again connected. So also the discussion, you know, so you get to hear the other person, which means to listen and also to share. You know, it's not always you have to just listen. It's also important for you to also speak what you think, right? So maybe when you are opening up what you're thinking, then you might be able to hear something good from the other person. So also other person also learns something from you. So discussion is also very crucial, you know. So that's why all these things are for our views. And you mentioned samadhi also, samatha, coming down. Yes. So this is also very important for us, which is calming down the mind. Because sometimes you see people who are intellectuals, good people, very highly learned people, but their mind is not calm. They don't meditate. If they don't meditate, then their intellectual can go wrong. Yeah, they can turn. We have seen, right, certain intellectual who turn violent, who turn violent, and who also lack morality, lack good conduct, because the mind is too restless. So therefore, we need to have meditation to calm down our mind, to take a break. Just take a break. Please take a break. We seems to be too busy. Especially in today's time, too hurry, too busy. See on the road, so much of horn, gong, 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 a lot of horns. So, somehow people are, I think, attached to the horn, because if you don't have a horn, you no more feel lively, So that's what I felt actually. So I was in some other countries where there was no much horn, but then I was missing the horn. I see the horn, the constant horn. I feel it is too boring, So, but somehow you see, we are too much hurry, So therefore, we need to just calm down the mind through the practice. So like this, if we have all these different things that Bhante mentioned, then our view, our perspective, our outlook, our thinking, our vision, that will be developed. That's what you said. It will help you to become free. You said, right? So we become free. So we all want freedom, isn't it? Everybody wants freedom, but if we don't work with our view, then we will be in our own self-created web, as Buddha said, no? Like a sayangkatang makkatako wa jalang. Sayangkatang makkatako. Makkatako is a spider, So sayangkatang, self-created jalang, that web. So the spider creates a web for himself, and it is in that net all the time. So that's why if you see the Brahma Jala, the net of Brahma. So which means we create our own net, right? So therefore, to be free, we need to clear our view, to work with our view, the right view, to create the. So the right view is the first, And as I said, that's how a religion starts, So Buddha's religion also starts with the right view, Samma Ditti. You may be aware of Eightfold Path, In the Eightfold Path, eight path the Buddha mentioned, that eight aspect of the path basically. So in that, the first one is view, right view. You see, so it all starts, with our view, shifting our view, which working with our view, and when it comes to view, it is about what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, and the Four Noble Truths. Suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, the way to the end of suffering. So basically, how we suffer, how we don't suffer, that's the view basically. If you make it very simple, what is right view, then it is what is that makes us miserable, and what is that makes us free or happy, happy or peaceful. So that's the view, But then there are different aspects to it, as Bhante already mentioned. What is that? He mentioned about, our attachment and, anger and restlessness and worry and or procrastination, laziness, and doubt. And there are so many different aspects are the conditions for us to to have wrong view, to pull us down, to make us suffer. So we create our own, as I said, we create our own suffering. So sutta, I think, talks about the freedom of the mind. So we have to free our mind. So we have the political freedom, 15 August 1947, but we also have to go to the freedom of our heart, our mind. As long as the mind is not free, we will not enjoy freedom that we got in 1947. You see, we will be still somehow not free. So we have to free the mind by meditation, by learning, by having the right conduct, and by discussion, by learning. So we need to free the mind, and please check, just see whether your mind is free or not. And if you are totally free, then good luck for you. But if it is not, just be sincere, be honest with yourself, and see whether I am totally free or not, which means your mind, basically. Is it really free or not? If it is not free, please do something. Please learn something. Please meditate and learn discussion and see your own action, your own conduct, whether your conducts are okay or not. Conduct means by body, speech, and mind. Whatever you think, you do, you say, whether those conducts are good or not. But if you don't, then you will not be free. When you think you are free, sometimes we want to do whatever we want to do, and we think that is freedom. But no, that creates more trouble for us. You see, that creates more and more trouble. If you do whatever you want, not thinking about the consequences, then there is more trouble. There is more, bondages, more trouble. So the freedom, that is what Buddha's teaching is all about. So I wish that all of you be able to free your mind, free yourself, and enjoy freedom, which means enjoy joy and satisfaction. May the blessing of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha be with all of you. May you all enjoy good health and happiness. And may all beings in the universe be happy, healthy. Whatever good we have done, may by the power of this goodness, may all the beings in the universe be happy. May there be peace. May there be joy in the whole universe, in the whole world. May all people also enjoy freedom